Hello everyone, welcome to Kerala PSC HSA English classes. This is class 52. Today we are moving on to a new topic in literary criticism, that is Matthew Arnold's The Study of Poetry. Matthew Arnold, the Victorian poet and critic, was the first modern critic and could be called the critic's critic, being a champion not only of the great poetry but of literary criticism itself. According to Arnold, the purpose of literary criticism was to know the best that is known and thought in the world, and in its turn, making this known to create a current of true and fresh ideas. And he has influenced a whole school of critics, including new critics such as T.S. Eliot, F.R. Lewis, and Alan Tate. He was the founder of the sociological school of criticism, and through his touchstone method introduced scientific objectivity to critical evaluation by providing comparison and analysis as the two primary tools of criticism. Arnold's evaluations of the Romantic poets such as Wordsworth, Byron, Shelley, and Keats are landmarks in descriptive criticism. And as a poet critic, he occupies an eminent position in the rich gallery of poet critics of English literature. So, before going into detail to the study of poetry, let's know some of the key points in this work. Poetry is capable of higher uses. It helps to interpret life for us, to console us, and to sustain us. Only best poetry is capable of performing this task. Poetry is a criticism of life. Readers should recognize and discover the highest qualities which produce the best poetry. Touchstone method. It is to assess the relative merit of a work by comparing it with the work of classical writers such as Homer and Dante, as well as from Milton and Shakespeare. Excellence of poetry lies both in its matter or substance and in its manner and style. If matter has truth and high seriousness, manner and diction will also acquire the accent of superiority. Chaucer's poetry. It is wanting in high seriousness. It surveys the world from a truly human point of view. And about Shakespeare and Milton, he said that they were great poetical classics. And about Dryden and Pope, not poetical classics. They are classics of our prose. The most singular and unique poet of the age of Pope and Dryden was Gray. Dryden's and Pope's poetry is conceived and composed in their wits. Genuine poetry is conceived and composed in the soul. The poetry of Burns has truth of matter and manner, but not the accent of the poetic virtue of the highest masters. Good literature will never lose its currency. So these are the main key points in the study of poetry. Now let's go into detail. The study of poetry 1888. According to Matthew Arnold, poetry is a criticism of life, governed by the laws of poetic truth and poetic beauty. It is in the criticism of life that the spirit of our race will find its stay and consolation. The extent to which the spirit of mankind finds its stay and consolation is proportional to the power of a poem's criticism of life, and the power of the criticism of life is in direct proportion to the extent to which the poem is genuine and free from charlatanism. And charlatanism means the quality of having the characteristics of a fraud. So, writing poetry should be free from charlatanism, that it should not be a false activity because there is nobility in poetry. Arnold also tells about the function of a critic. According to him, a critic, in forming a genuine and disinterested estimate of the poet under consideration, he should not be influenced by historical or personal judgments. Historical judgments can be fallacious because we regard ancient poets with excessive veneration, and personal judgments can also become fallacious when we are biased towards a contemporary poet. As examples of erroneous judgments, he says that the 17th century court tragedies of the French were spoken with um, exaggerated praise, and also the 17th century French poetry has also received undue and undeserving veneration. So, there is more to discuss on the study of poetry that we will be doing in the coming classes about the touchstone method, what Arnold told about Chaucer, and about the age of Dryden and Pope, about Burns, Shakespeare, etc. So, I will be dividing this class into different parts so that we can go on in detail in every topics of the study of poetry. So we are moving on to module 7, basic grammar, voice. So today, as I have said in the earlier class, we are discussing on the rules of active voice and passive voice. So first rule is that the object of the verb in the active voice becomes the subject of the verb in the passive voice. Second rule, the subject of the verb in the active voice becomes an object governed by the preposition by in the passive voice. And third rule, the past participle of the verb in the active voice is used in the passive voice with parts of the verbs to be. But this change the tense which remains the same. For example, they killed him. He was killed by them. He has caught the ball. The ball has been caught by him. Let's see how same sentence in different tenses can be written in both active voice and passive voice. I like you. You are liked by me. I liked you. You were liked by me. I shall like you. You will be liked by me. I am liking you. You are being liked by me. I was liking you. You were being liked by me. I shall be liking you. There is no passive voice for that sentence. I have liked you. You have been liked by me. I have liked you. You have been liked by me. I shall have liked you. You will have been liked by me. So, there are some more rules to be discussed regarding active voice and passive voice, and let's do that in the next class. So, that's all for today. Stay tuned with the channel. Please watch all my classes till the end and give me all support. Thank you so much.